Let us continue. Today's Mishnah Yomi Rabosai is Perek Gimel, Mishnayis Dalid and Hey. Mishnayis Dalid and Hey. So Rabosai, yesterday we began with the sugya of Balkari. So Mishnah Dalid, Berachos, Perek Gimel, chapter 3, Mishnah 4. Says the Mishnah, Balkari Mehari Believe. And Rabosai, just the context over here, Takanas Ezra. Takanas Ezra, remember again, Ezra was mitakin. Ezra instituted that when a man has a seminal emission, he cannot daven or learn until he goes to the mikvah. What was the point of this takana? Interestingly enough, it was a takana that was aimed at Talmidei Chachamim, at Torah scholars. Shaloyu Talmidei Chachamim mitzuyin eitzon l'shosein ketanagolim. Literally, again, Talmidei Chachamim should not be with their wives like roosters. I guess you have to understand rooster mating patterns. I guess roosters mate often. So the idea was that Talmid Chacham should think about engaging in intimacy. Should obviously there's a mitzvah of intimacy, but that he should think about the fact that he's going to have to go to the mikveh afterwards. So therefore, again, the Mishnah is picking up with the idea about Takanas Ezra. So Bal Kari Mahara Belibo. If a man is a Bal Kari, had a seminal emission, he cannot say Shema. Therefore, what does he do? He could cogitate, right? He could be Maharher Belibo. He could think Shema. Ve'enu Mavarich, but he cannot say the brachas. Cannot say the brachas. Right? Lo lefanev, lo la'achara. So I will say the most he could do is he could think about Shema. He could be Maharher about Shema, but he doesn't say the brachas, not even Maharher about the brachas, before or after. Now I will say there's a whole machlokes. What exactly does thinking about Shema do? Does one actually fulfill the mitzvah like that? So let's remember again, this goes back, we just saw this is why it's so great to do Mishnah also. We actually just saw this machlokes in Megillah, right? We all say this is a machlokes. Do you have to hear what you're saying when you say Shema or not? Now this is not even that machlokes, because over here, I'm not even articulating anything with my lips, right? I'm just thinking Shema, okay? So you think Shema, but no brachas. V'ala mazon. What about if a person is a Bal Keri, and now he has to bench? V'ala mazon, mevarich la'acharav and mevarich l'fanav. He could go ahead and recite Birkas HaMazon, again, Behirhur. In other words, he can't actually say it, he could think it. He could think it, ultimately, again, for benching, but not for the brachos before. Because benching is D'oraisa, the brachos before are D'Rabbanan. Rabbi Huda says, Mevarech lefaneim alachareim. Rabbi Huda says that halacha l'maisa, both by Kriyas Shema, as well as by benching. Rabbi Huda says that halacha l'maisa, the Bal Keri makes the brachas. Now, I will say, the Bartanura points out that this entire discussion is no longer relevant for us. Why? I'm reading from the Bartanura, kvar nifseka halacha tebatlua litfilusa. Rabbi say the takana of Ezra is batal. Which is why today, contemporarily, even if a man has a seminal emission, the halacha is he's permitted to learn afterwards. He's permitted to daven afterwards. There's a whole discussion about the concept of, again, there are still people who are makpid to go to the mikvah. There are people who are makpid to go to the mikvah each and every day for the purposes of Bal Keri. Again, the Mishnah Berurah discusses that halacha l'maisa, if a man does have a seminal emission, it is best to do what we call tisha kabin, right? Pouring 9 kab of water, which essentially means take a shower. So ideally a person should do that, right, after having a seminal emission before learning Torah or before davening. But me'ikra din, even if a person did not do that, they are permitted to engage in Torah and tefillah. Because the takana of Ezra essentially is batal. Mishnah hey, hayomi b'tefillah. I'll say an interesting case. Let's say, so we'll say, but again, our Mishnahs are reflecting a reality where takanas Ezra is still in effect. So, for example, therefore, Mishnah hey, hayomi b'tefillah. If a person was davening in Shmona Esrei, v'niskar shu Bal Keri, and in the middle of Shmona Esrei, he remembers that he's a Bal Keri and he didn't go to the mikvah. So what should he do? Lo yafsik. You shouldn't stop Shmona Esrei in the middle. Rather, Eli yikatzer. You should truncate. The Abba says it's very interesting. How do you truncate Shmona Esrei? Essentially, you take each bracha, you say the beginning and the last bracha, and you cut out the middle. Yared litbal, but another interesting case. Let's say a person went to the mikvah, and I realize I'm going to the mikvah right before sunrise. Now, the ideal time to say Kriyas Shema is when? Right before sunrise. If you could get out of the mikvah and clothe yourself before sunrise, then do so. Then come out of the mikvah, cover yourself, say Kriyas Shema. So if you could catch Kriyas Shema before sunrise, then absolutely do so. But if you can't do that, yiskasa v'mayim v'yikra. Cover yourself in the water and you could say Shana Bosai. This is very interesting. Now this only works with non-translucent water, right? If the water is clear, it doesn't work. But let's say you're immersing, like in a lake, right, that has cloudy water, or some other body of water that has cloudy water, or you go to a mikvah that has cloudy water. Don't go to those mikvahs in general. Right, I'll say, so again, if the water itself is not clear, then interestingly enough, being in the water, right, if you can't see the bottom part of your body, that is considered as if you are clothed. Fascinating halacha. It's considered as if you're clothed. So in other words, you could actually go ahead and stay in that mikvah as long as the bottom part of your body is covered and recite Shema like that. Ve'im lav, v'yiskasamayim. Aval lo yiskasa, lo mayim haroim. But you cannot go ahead and literally like cover yourself with mayim haroim. Now I will say mayim haroim. Mayim haroim over here is usually water that has like a putrid smell. Because remember, once you do with a putrid smell, you can't say Kriyat Shema by a putrid smell anyway. V'lo mei mishra, not with flax water, which also has a putrid smell. Ad sheyati l'sochan mayim. See, Rabbi said the only thing you could do is if you are either immersed in mayim haroim or near mayim haroim, you could pour in regular water, dilute it. If you dilute the putridity, I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds good, right? If you dilute the putridity, then ultimately, again, that could work. The kami yarchik mena minatzah. So we'll say, so again, this is not switching gears for just a moment. So remember again, up until now, what we have is as follows. Halacha number one, if a person is davening Shemona Esrei, they realize in the middle that they're a zav, truncate Shemona Esrei. Number two, you're in the mikvah, it's right before sunrise. If you could get out, quickly clothe yourself, say Shema, great. If it's murky water or unclear water, you could cover yourself, so to speak, in the water. However, if the water is unclear, if the water is clear, that won't work. Now, I will say again, once we're talking about unclear water, if it's putrid water, you can't say Shema there at all. Not in any kind of putrid water, either it has a foul smell or that has foul items inside of it, even if it doesn't have a smell. Now the Mishnah is often saying, by the way, even when you're outside of the water, Kami yarchik ma min hatzor. Both say, how far does one have to distance themselves from a putrid smelling item or from a foul item? Arba amos. One has to distance themselves at least 4 amos. So we'll say 4 amos is approximately 6 feet. So as long as you distance yourself at least 6 feet from your putrid item, you are permitted to say Shema or daven Shemona Esrei or learn Torah at that distance. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.